All right. We are going lock-in mode. Let us adjust. Yeah, we're going trophy hunting. Going trophy hunting, and we are going to play cards that I think will help us get there. Dreams, thought seize, push, pending, trail. Are you off scolding entirely right now? I mean, I got one in the main and one in the side. Do you mean spell snare? Like, I don't think spell snare is bad, but I don't think it's particularly good right now. I kind of think for the most part, I'd rather play Stern Scolding than Spell Snare. In Scolding, like, do you think it's good? I mean, it counters Solitude, obviously. Like, Felia is nice. It hits Ice Till Explorer, because that thing's a 2/4. Which are all problematic cards. Like, I think Stern Scolding hits the stuff that Spell Snare hits that you care about plus more. And that's kind of a decent place to be. All right, what am I forgetting? Oh, Bowmasters. I think this is kind of where I want to be. He was still a strict Serenade hater, answers everything we want it to answer, but gives him a bird. I don't know if I've ever been like a strict Serenade hater. Um, like, I don't like the card in general, but if your goal is just like have another answer to uh, a Quantum Riddler or something on the draw, it's fine. But I think Mystical Dispute like fights over all the same stuff. Kind of think the only thing that doesn't really overlap would be like Thelia. Think of something else. Available targets are bigger, hits planeswalkers and artifacts too. Not really a lot of artifacts you care about hitting. And the only planeswalkers anybody's playing are Teferi and Narset that both still get hit by Mystical Dispute. Like Mystical Dispute's also better in any of the interactive mirrors. So like Serenade doesn't do anything if your opponent is playing Mystical Dispute. Then you use Serenade, they dispute back, and you can't fight over that dispute. Felt like a counter spell or something. But it's lock-in time. Turning my music down. Actually, headphones off. No music for me. I don't deserve music. I do deserve to keep this hand, though. Unknown opponent. I don't have any black cards currently, so we're just going to lead on Tameo. Hold up. Subtlety, Force of Negation. Juice. Amulet Titan. Option number one, we could Force of Negation. Kind of sucks to lose Subtlety against Amulet Titan. So maybe I want to just ditch Riddler instead. I think I'm okay with that. Blue, we're just going to shock in Watery Grave because I plan on cracking this clue. Plus, it makes it look like I have Counterspell. There. The third amulet. Passing. Yeah. We can crack our fetch to get a Surveil, potentially get a Force of Negation. They play like Spelunking. The thing I'm interested in looking for, since I already played the land and I still get to keep up Subtlety. You. Go. But I don't care about some counter spells. They never do. No land drop out of them. So now I do think I'm going for flip Tameo here. But I could just like test the waters with a Quantum Riddler, see what I draw. Or crack the clue. I guess we'll go with Quantum Riddler. Yeah. So I'm going to flip the Tameo here because I don't have much else going on. We do need to get the game over with. We have Subtlety to interact with a hard cast threat. We've got Edict and Betrayal to interact with a threat after it hits the battlefield. When it does nothing. All right, now I'm not going to hard cast out hard cast out Kaito or Quantum Riddler here. I'm going to sit back and plan on ninjutsuing in Kaito off of a Bowmaster next turn. Or if they hard cast a Titan here, we can Subtlety, ninjutsu off Subtlety. Fine. Want to take Force Negation with Tameo because at the moment I'm trying to ult the Tameo. That was like my win condition at that moment. Might change here. Like now I'm kind of interested in Strategic Betrayal, Ninjutsu in the Kaito. Back Force. Yeah. Strategic Betrayal. Is there any reason I'd rather just Shieldred's Edict? Fine. Save the Strategic Betrayal in case I get some stuff in the graveyard. Strategic Betrayal. Get rid of the Grazer. Hack in with the Subtlety. Jutsu the Subtlety to get it back in hand. Zero Kaito first, because if I find a Force of Negation, I don't want to or minus the Tameo. Got all of the arboreal grazers. They put Primeval Titan on the bottom. What's my plan here? I could just give up this Tameo to get Shieldred's Edict. I like Betrayal here. I want to attack with the Kaito first and 0, so that if I find something to flip in the yard, I can just like immediately buy it back to cash in this Tameo. So we go graveyard, graveyard, draw, land, Thought Sees You. Take a Primeval Titan, cash in Tameo to get back this counter spell, cast a Psychic Frog, say go. Oman can trigger Kite or allow you to 0 Kaito, but it doesn't do a whole lot of good if I'm not advancing my board state in the meantime. An Ice Till Explorer. Head and fight over. Gonna have to pay for Pact next turn. But it scoops it up. I could sink into super, like cast Sink, cast Riddler from Warp, draw 2, flip Tameo, stun down Arboreal Grazer, attack, something like that. Or attack with both and then just ditch stuff, kill the Grazer, attack in. But either way, nice game 1 against Titan. I do think Stern Scolding is getting a lot better against them now that they're on the Ice Till plan. Do have just like a lot of trims post board. Feels a little awkward. I've also seen some Amulet players going heavy in on like stock up post board. I don't know if that's the norm, but Want to get Watery Grave, go for Thoughtseize this turn to try to set up Frog next turn instead of going for a white source to hit the Amulet. Best control for Amulet. I brought him in. If that's what you meant. Like asking if I brought them in. Number down, Amulet. If they're going for a Gruul Turf, I assume that means they have top decked a Titan. We can find a white source. Do have a fun little trick here of they go for bounce land. We replicate consign on the Amulet triggers. So they don't get the untaps. They do have to bounce a land back with their growth chamber, so. Cube Club, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome afternoon. Wheels in the sky keep on turning. Round and round and round she goes. Or she stops. Everybody knows. White source. So let's go ahead and pending. Do I want a pending? I could ditch Shieldred's Edict, warp Riddler, because if I draw into a pest control, that's way better for me. Get a bunch of looks at it. Guess that's okay too. Oh. Wasn't in your hand previously. And let's go ahead and pre-combat our Riddler. Matter, you don't matter. Carry on. Ice Till Explorer. Fine, because that does not have reach. So when we go back to our turn, we can discard the frog on my upkeep and then cycle pest control, draw 2 off the Riddler, discard down again, draw 2 for turn, go to combat, hit them for a bunch, and never have to tap off of or lose counterspell. It lets you see a bunch of cards in case you want to find like a Harbinger there. Yes, Titan player, you may go with your 4-land hand. With all those lands, nothing to cast. What do we get for round 2? Oh, I found these glacier dragon shields at our LGS yesterday, and I actually think I really like the color of them. It's kind of funny because it matches a bit, but they look really good. All right, turn 1 Dreams, turn 2 Frog. Like keeping. Going with 2 Dreams of Steel and Oil instead of the 4-1 Thoughtseize split, because Jeskai Blink playing Flage means I want some extra ways of exiling it. And I don't really love Cling to Dust. So if we take a Mox Opal, you don't have a way currently of resolving this weapons manufacturing. But if we take EE, you can't blow it up. Pithing Needle can shut down my frog. I think I take Mox Opal. Try to get down Frog on turn 2 and find a white source to Prismatic Ending the EE. That's my plan at the moment. On the red source. Gonna name Psychic Frog. Yep. Okay. Answers that next question. Spell snare that so I can get down this frog. And they currently, if they top decked another engineered explosives, it's definitely awkward for me. But if they didn't, then they might just not have a way to pop these these tokens. Got to stop on my upkeep. Session Bowmaster. Can't do anything with my Psychic Frog but attack. Oh. Hope you don't hit a Kappa Cannoneer. Okay. Got it. Did not expect to still be alive this game. Flashing another Bowmaster. Could have a Metallic Rebuke, but this also just puts them dead to like a Thought Cast or a Thought Monitor. Drawing. Got a Mopal. Found the engineered explosives. No. That's 14 damage right now. They do have to kill off my board, and I can play out a follow-up threat. They're back down to not having much. I'm excited for Wu-Tang Owl. I am excited for Wu-Tang Owl. Okay. Is there any reason to make one play instead of another? I think I need to go Tameo and Frog so that if opponent top decks like a blocker, I can ninjutsu off the other one. Blocker. I'm not going to prismatic ending this Pinnacle Emissary because at the moment they don't know that I'm on white. and there's no reason to show that to them for free. But stealing game one against Affinity is huge. Yeah, I am very excited to play the Owl when it's legal. I think the card has some really unique lines of text. Got pest controls coming in, Tamio's coming out, Kaito's coming out, a Riddler out. Like, I'm not gonna go off on a deep end and say, oh, Owl like solves the deck. We're so much better. We auto win against everything now. But Owl offers like a good early game play, a good late game mana sink, which we just haven't really had before. That's interesting. When it molds to 5. Name marsh flats and we know they're ghosting. All right. Pretty good hit. Imri, Lurker of the Lock, Metallic Rebuke, Mystical Dispute. Top deck Urza's Saga. I think I'm supposed to just prismatic ending the pithing needle here. Am I? Look, if I go for the prismatic ending, they can't Metallic Rebuke or Mystical Dispute. Like, they can hit the pending with Metallic Rebuke, but then they won't have it for a pest control. Gonna get a swamp here in case of Blood Moon. No counter. I just kind of feel like if I pithing needle this, or if I counter the pithing needle, or prismatic ending the pithing needle, then I just like don't have to worry about metallic rebuke. They play multiple copies of Pithing Needle. Check an affinity list real quick. Surely it's just one, right? All right, the first 4 lists I've looked at are on one single copy of Pithing Needle in the 75. So if I get blown out by second copy, so be it. I'm not going to play around it because I want to be able to surveil. We are countering this. We can untap and pest control away the board. Or it doesn't matter. Love to see it. Is the owl even good? So, 2 answers to that. One, in a vacuum, yeah, it's good. Having a threat that's able to come down early and grow something that you can proactively disrupt your opponent and gain advantage out of with like Field of the Ruin effects, Path to Exile, whatever, is a positive. And then having it transform into a late game mana sink that gets you an advantage without requiring your opponent to do anything specific is nice. On the other side, nobody knows if it's actually good yet because nobody's played it. So it's really easy to theorize how cards kind of interact, but until people actually play them, doesn't matter. Also, thank you for the follow. Or Titan. And take the Arboreal Grazer because their hand is pretty slow and clunky. And if I can get down Frog on turn 1, start hitting in the face, I can interact with some of this other stuff later. It's all Titan League. It happens. It's a pretty popular archetype. I do think I'm going to fight over this. Also makes my Quantum Riddler on 3 a little bit better. So they get an amulet here, 2 floating. They can't currently cast Primeval Titan. They can cast Ice Till off of Crumbling Vestige, floating a mana. So we're going to take the Ice Till. Kind of trust that we're going to be able to find a counter spell or a subtlety before we need to get rid of this Titan. Master's not bad. I kind of feel like I'd rather just ditch this to the frog. But at the same time, it does like clog up the ground a little bit against Saga. Is possibly worth it just to make sure I can keep attacking. Are we playing the Demonic Tutors list? It's a few cards off the Demonic Tutors list, but it's not terribly different. Probably like 65 of the Demonic Tutors list. But at the same time, like once you get too far down the rabbit hole with Frog, everything's kind of overlapping. Kind of like, oh, it's not the Demonic Tutors list. Really good draw. It's not the Demonic Tutors list, but I'm running 4 Frog, 4 Counter Spell, 3 Tameo, 3 Kite or 2 Kaito, 3 Bowmasters, 4 Thoughtseize. Know what I mean? We're just going to go ahead and pending this amulet they got on board. Like I've got a couple copies of Prismatic Ending. I've got 2 Dreams of Steel and Oil in the main. Pest controls in the board. So No attack. I think I'm just going to go ahead and discard this Stern Scolding. All right. Most annoying thing about the uptick in Amulet online is the time it takes new players to make a play and find their lines. It doesn't really bother me. I'm a really big supporter in like the Magic Online chess clock. So at the end of the day, like if opponent wants to take 24 minutes and 59 seconds to kill me, so be it. Like doesn't really change anything I've got going on, so all right, we're gonna try to hit with Frog this turn, hold up double counter, and then just plan on like throwing everything into Frog, casting Riddler, drawing 2 more, making it a lethal Frog next turn. I don't know what the plan is, but I can't imagine just going to get an Urza Saga changes much. But as far as the chess clock goes, like as far as or as long as opponent taking 40 minutes on Titan or whatever doesn't change my clock, I don't particularly care. They want to take their whole turn to figure out combos, so be it. Now opponent is tapped out, so we'll go discard, discard, discard. Yeah. Cast Quantum Riddler, draw 2, discard 1, jump Frog, swinging with everything. Pest Controls in, Ashiok in, Scolding in, Consigns, Harbinger in, Cameo out, Bowman out, push, board out a Kaito, a Riddler, air. I'll just do another Riddler. Or did I do a Kaito last time? It's Kaito. Like the Amulet players got to learn sometime how to play the deck. So if Magic Online's the best place to learn, they might as well be here. care for more lands. Wizard is fine. Big Grazer for a turn 2 Ice Till. I need to interact with this. Probably. What's on top? Put Ice Till on top. Now, do I think it's better to go ahead and pest control or try to scolding the Ice Till? I think I'd rather pest control now. On top. All right, let's find a threat. Quantum Riddler or Psychic Frog off the top would be pretty hot. Ashiok's not bad. Okay. Gotta remember they do still have an Otawara in hand. So Echoing Deeps, Otawara, unknown. Copy my Watery Grave. Seems probably better than copying a fetch land. Odawara, unknown. All right. Let's. Do I want to warp this and draw 2, or do I want to hard cast this? Probably just hard cast, right? Because they can't Odawara into turn here. Like warp, less dead to scape shift. Let me tell you what I'm not dead to anyway. Scape shift. Sack their analyst for a crumbling vestige. Gonna go off. They don't have a what's it called? Don't have a shifting woodlands. Put a Titan on the battlefield, I guess. Is their last card a Titan? Gross. Well, Warping Riddler instead of hard casting wasn't helping us against exactly that. Green Suns. Justice. Justice. That was about to be filthy on their part. We get to go ahead and exile this Aftermath analyst. Back with a Riddler. And we'll cast this other Dreams too. Why cycle? Well, if I cycle into something that I can do on my upkeep, like I think I still have a Bowmaster in. No, I don't have a Bowmaster in. But it would be if I cycled into something to do on my upkeep, I could go ahead and do that and get the draw of Quantum Riddler. Need more cards. Where'd our Ashiok go? Opponent cast or cycled an Otawara, channeled an Otawara. And so Ashiok got bounced back to hand, and then we had to pitch it to force negation to hit their Green Sun Zenith. Sink our Riddler, warp it, and consign it to draw more cards. Unfortunately, that is a play that the program Magic the Gathering Online will not allow me to make, but you may make that play at your next paper tournament. I'd say ball. That must have been like the turn after I hard cast the Riddler or something. Blunking turn. Paper only. Yeah, just Sink into Stupor says you can only target something your opponent controls. So Magic the Gathering Online will not allow you to target your own thing, but we're sure that at some point in the history of Modern, in paper, somebody has targeted their own permanent with Sink into Stupor and gotten away with it. So it's just called a paper only play because you literally cannot do it on Magic Online. But in paper, if you're not intimately familiar with the card Sink into Stupor, might not be aware. But tell me these Glacier sleeves. Those look good, right? They kind of remind me of like the old Petrol sleeves, but they're a little lighter in color. Kind of a fan of these. Not a legal play, got it. Exactly. But it's like not legal in a way that you think it would be, but it's not. Like, you'd think you would be able to sink into stupor your own permanence, but you can't. Interesting hand. This hammer. The motherfucking ley line axe. All right, so far they've got a lot of cards that don't do anything yet. It's a pretty good one. I think we're just gonna pass through this turn. Why are you so good at drawing swamp? If I could play Harbinger of the Seas and not have to put swamp in my deck, I would be so ungodly happy. Like, I cannot tell you how thrilled I would be to be able to do that. Opponent puts Pure Steel Paladin on the bottom of their library. The sleeves do match the hoodie, and I'm kind of thrilled about that. I didn't even think about them matching. Like, pretty close. I don't know if y'all can tell, but yeah, it is pretty good observation. All right. So there's two options I have available to me. Actually, there's like 7 options. But 2 options that I want to consider. One is, do I want to just main phase Orcish Bowmaster shoot this Esper Sentinel? Which is good in the majority of cases. There's also the chance that my opponent might put some non-creature spell on the stack, and I could Bowmaster, shoot the Ornithopter, force, let them draw a card, kill the Ornithopter, so that I'm not dead to a flyer. But I think I would rather just main phase while they're tapped out and kill the Esper Sentinel. I've got Force and Negation. Steel Paladin number. You've got a 1/3 double striking Ornithopter. Striking fear into the hearts of men everywhere. No longer have a 1/3 double striking Ornithopter. I've got nothing. All right. Please, opponent, do not cast a 3rd copy of Pure Steel Paladin. I ask you from the bottom of my heart, damn you. Damn you. Asked so nicely, too. Could not have asked nicer. It's trample too. Meladon, Smedalon TV, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome afternoon. Appreciate you coming around and hanging out, and hopefully not watching me lose to Hammertime. Is there any reason I would want to block and double discard I don't think so. I think I don't want to risk just being like blown out by something good here. I know they can't flash in another equipment, but they could maybe like play one of those 1 mana white, make it indestructible spells. Discard. Warp. Pass. Metalon, what's up? Trying not to die. We'll see how well that works. Fingers crossed at the moment. Their last card is a hammer, so be it. But if I don't do anything, then like I'm for sure dead to a hammer. Show me your indestructible spell. +2/+2 till end of turn. If that creature is attacking, you may attach an equipment you control to it. Resolves. We're currently taking 6. So if I don't discard this polluted delta, I can't play out the Quantum Riddler anyway. All right. Down to the wire. Oh boy. I need you to brick, opponent. I need you to brick. Damn it. Yep. Okay. We have a very tough time beating triple pure steel paladin. 1. Drop Kaito, Tamio, Riddler. Do I want Teferi or do I want Ashiok? Ashiok's probably fine. I don't know if there's anything I really want to cut for it. Like Ashiok over a counter spell. Stop Saga being able to tutor. Stop Stoneforge. Opponent casting Stoneforge like it's 2015. You want to hear the funniest part about that statement? Is this is not the first Stoneforge deck I've played against today. Let that sink in. Not the first Stoneforge deck that I have played against today. I played against Dak Faden earlier. He was playing Jeskai Blink with Stoneforge Mystic. And some of the lines that came up today in that match included such notable plays as Aegis of Assimilation, exile my Quantum Riddler, strap up the Aegis onto a Solitude, activate Arena of Glory, use a red to cast a Stoneforge Mystic, go get a Cauldra, immediately put the Cauldra into play. What else do we have? There was a Lion Sash at one point. Let me tell you how much I did not win that match. Spoiler was a lot. But I appreciate the fact that like I didn't lose to the Jeskai Blink stuff. Like I didn't lose to Riddlers and Flages and whatnot. No, I lost to Stoneforge. I lost very, very hard to Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge Mystic absolutely owned me that match. Speak of the devil. I'm going ahead and putting a Colossus Hammer into play. It would be really cool to draw as a pest control. Did that +2/+2 spell give any keywords? Battlefield improvisation. Field. I know it let you attach an equipment, but did it? Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If that creature is attacking, you may attach any number of equipment you control to it. Okay. Does not give trample or anything. Yeah, I'm shocked to see them play a card that doesn't give 15 keywords. Aldra complete. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and take you out back. Just a sorcery speed kill spell here. Like, I know I'm just trying to find pest control. Okay. How do they still have 6 cards in hand? I've discarded nothing to Frog. I have 1-for-1 interacted. I guess I had to interact with half of an Urza's Saga. Never mind. Makes more sense. Plus, they've played 2 draw cards. Rip this pest control like nobody's business. So I know one of their hand cards in hand is a dead Cauldra. It can potentially hit for a pretty good chunk with battlefield improvisations on this construct. Okay. That's good for me. Don't equip the Shadow Spear. Got to be going for the improvisations, right? Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe. All right, and then we are just completely sell out to try to find a pest control. One of your finest, please. You. What's the name of the one white one? Does it give everything indestructible or just one thing indestructible? Gotta be one thing, right? Please. Or do they just not even play it anymore? Not blacksmith skill. There was one before. It might have been before blacksmith skill. But it was like it gave you hex proof and no, not flare. This stupid card. One white instant gave you protection, gave like something indestructible and hex proof. What's the name of that stupid card? All permanents. Like that's what I need to know here. It doesn't look like anybody plays it, so I'm not going to play around it, but I need to know for the purpose of if it's safe to like go for this attack first to try to draw into a fourth land to cast counterspell and pest control, or if it's better to just go for the pest control and try to get 2 attacks in and risk getting blown out. It's not Faith Shield. Surge. Surge sounds... Surge of Salvation? Is that it? Yes. You and permanents you control gain hex proof, prevent all damage. The black. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Never mind. It doesn't give indestructible. That's fine. So with that in mind, I should have gone for the pest control first, just to get an extra attack in. Animate, land. Was a pretty hot pest control. What did I think of Goryo's? Goryo's was fine. I think the deck's like pretty sweet. Doesn't like completely mesh with me personally, but I think it's a good deck. Okay, so opponent has got a Cauldra in hand that I know about. The only card I know about. I can take some hits off of Cauldra. That's fine. So I'm just going to play a land, pass. I'm in between Frog and Riddler or Gorya's for Vegas right now, and people are saying I'm crazy. What, crazy for considering those two? Those two are fine choices. Like, look at what the run Demonic Tutors has been on. Like, this dude's been playing Frog, top 4 challenge, top 8, top 8, top 8, top, or that's the same one, I think. Top 8, top 16, top 16, that's with Blink. All right, you ready for this hotness? Ready to consign a living weapon trigger? Some people didn't think it was possible, and yet here we are, signing living weapon triggers in 2025. Of rid of the hammer. So bad for Hammer gamers. Wrath and Pest must be the worst thing that could have happened to them. They had their time in the sun. Like, you remember when Hammertime played Luris? That deck was disgusting. Luris and like 4 main deck Sanctifier on Vex. That was not okay. Taking a Battlefield Improv here. Cycle just in case I hit a fatal push. Discard. Discard. Cast Quantum Riddler. Then we just discard, jump our 2 frogs, or attack with everything, whatever. Okay. Game 3 on the draw. Teferi just shuts down battlefield improvisation, doesn't it? Doesn't that thing say, like, it only attaches if they're attacking? Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If that creature is attacking, you may attach any number of equipment to it. SETI coming in with a 3-month resub. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the subscribers. Enjoy continued access to our sweet custom emotes. I might consider to vary if I were to play against Hammer and be back on the play, but I think on the draw it's just a little too slow. What do you think? Are they going to name Polluted Delta? All right. Opponent, you've earned yourself a pass. You're good peoples. Side note, this is twice today that I've had to hope my opponent wasn't stream sniping because of a turn 1 pithing needle in the blind. Oh boy. Do it. Do it. Coward. All right. I get to make a construct. I feel like I'm probably consigning the search. They can't get like a Mopal or something. Or a lava spur boots, whatever the case may be. Take 5. Land. That's also pretty good. Poink. They do have it. All right. Time to draw all of the black removal. Cauldra. Matt, what's up? We can find some lands. I guess we still need to like outrace this sanctifier, but figure that out, right? Frog tokens, frog counters. Hammertime in the year of our Lord 2025, indeed. Okay, sounds really weird. I kind of want to force this so that Bowmaster can trade or take out a construct token. Could be relevant. Okay, let's think. I could throw away Thoughtseize Bowmaster, Riddler draw 2. Like, the thing that I'm most afraid of at the moment is them getting a hammer and casting battlefield improvisations. And I think Riddler does not do anything to play around that. Second Riddler, however, I hope they go make a construct, untap, and I want them to make another construct here. Respond with shoot this first construct. Now they can't improvisation. Hope. Fear seems reasonable here. That answers a sanctifier. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that was in the deck. Block it. Block it. Feel the hatred coursing through your veins. All right, please don't kill me. You. It's probably worth just firing off that pest control to take out the Shadow Spear and the Colossus Hammer. Then I'm just attacking with the frog to hold back in case worst case scenario. I could have attacked him with a token. We survive Hammertime in 2025. Oh, man. Prismatic Ending MVP. Hmm. Game one in the blind. Hmm. I think he's just streaming until he gets a trophy. Trophy of league, whatever deck you lose to a match to, drop the league and register the next league with that deck. Oh, God. Why do y'all let him sign up for these things? Just prowess. This is odd. I was gonna say, if this is prowess and they dropped a Corey Steel Cutter on me right here, I just lose on the spot. I can beat up on a creature start. I cannot beat up on a Corey Steel Cutter. You step discovered, draft the archetype that beats you. Just like force the archetype. Can you imagine just like losing to Reanimator and then having to force draft Reanimator and never seeing a good reanimate payoff? Over here, like, I gotta reanimate my Dark Confidant. Is it Murktide? Could be. Still could be. I need to find a frog or an answer to a Corey Steel. Like, now. Immediately. That's an answer to Corey Steel. So that means I would rather use like a fatal push on this Swift Spear or strategic betrayal and save the force. Big clunky sorcery speed removal. Save nice, elegant, cheap removal. Slick shot show off. I think I would rather stern scolding this. OP might be playing paradoxical outcomes, slick shots. Corey Steel Cutter, bobble, 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 make a dude, outcome, pick it all up, replay it with a slick shot. Pure value at that point. Got a slick shot. Got a bobble. Bird, 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 bird is the word, bird, 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 bird is the word. I think tomatoes where it's at. Children's Edict. Deck looks like it sucks without Corey. It doesn't suck, but it's definitely a lot worse without Corey Steele. We're just gonna hope my opponent is not on main deck Unholy Heats. Though I feel like main deck Heat would be pretty good out of Prowess right now. With all of the Riddlers and stuff running around. Seen some on one copy main. I'd believe it. Just yeah, this is like all literally main board, right? So 34% are running a copy in the main. Help me. Help me. Oh boy. That's all 4 lightning bolts. Not gonna flash in this Bowmaster until they sack the Islet. I don't want to sack it anyway or flash it anyway. Probably worth it though. What are they gonna do? Point a burn spell at my Orcish Bowmaster? Of a dart. Opponent is in possession of the lethal burn spell. They do have a main deck Unholy Heat. Ah. Please don't also have main deck Spell Snare. Yes. Oh my god. Bolt you, bolt you, bolt you. Double Fiery Islet, Lava Dart you. Go to 1. Easy, he says. All right, Tamio, not great. Felt like that game was 100% ours, but it still came so close. I don't know where you got 100% ours from. That game was sketchy. Had to spend that entire game trying not to die to a Corey Steel that they didn't have. They've spent a lot more than 4 turns spinning wheels. They were spinning wheels for a hot minute. All right. With all these lands, I kind of want to just jam a frog. They could have They could have Spell Snare. They're not at Delirium yet. And I could just discard 5 to save the frog. Yeah, I think I'm just jamming. I have the answer to Corey Steele if they resolve 1. Good for me. Really good for me. Thing disputing some of their boards. Got the lava dart in the yard too. And that lava dart into turn or in response to the frog hurt pretty bad. What a slick shot. Take some damage. Clear out the board. Like a Murktide follow up. Prowess is really, really good at finding like the sideboard Murktide. Strategic Betrayal. Betrayal or Shieldred's Edict are my outs. Oh, never mind. Just dead. Dart flashbacks grow the Murktide. All right, well, getting me to be on the play is nice. This is very slow. What? If I was on the draw, I would 100% throw this back. I've got like a little more leeway on the play. I am I crazy for saying I feel like I'm getting stream sniped? Because that was just like a no hesitation Corey Seal into double blue mana. I definitely don't want to say anything like that lightly. It was just like instantaneous untap slam Corey Steel, which could just mean second Corey Steel in hand. Nothing crazy. All right. Bunch of Riddlers. Not where you want to be. Even if we draw pest control here, like they've got the dart in the yard. We kept a hand that was really slow, hoping that being on the play would help. Did not. It happens. Like, I could mulligan on the play to try to find a more proactive hand. But like if I find a hand that's just got fatal push, force, and something, and they have a slow hand, like if they go preordain on one or surveil on one or something and try to play the slow game, then I get really punished for being down a card on the play with a hand that doesn't line up well. So I'm not completely opposed to keeping a slower hand on the play, but I could very well accept that that might have just been too slow of a hand on the play. All right, let's pay out the naysayers. I'd say Riddler in the deck, you can be rewarded for mulliganing more greedily. But the issue there is like the only thing that I'm mulliganing for is an answer to a Corey steal, right? Like whatever answer, a counterspell or a force negation, Dreams of Steel and Oil, Thoughtseize, Prismatic Ending. So that's, I had 2 Thoughtseize and 2 Dreams is 4. Snare is 5. 2 Pending is 7. 4 Counterspell is 11. 3 Force Negation is 14. Nothing out of the board. So I had 14 looks at something to stop a turn 2 Corey steal, with the opening 7 being 7 of my 60, so 53 cards left in library. Surveil away a dead card is 52. Draw for next turn is, so I got a 14 and 51 chance of hitting something that's actively good into a turn 2 Corey steal. That's right at about 33%, a little less, like 31% or something, to hit a card that's good there. And again, that's only if they have turn 2 Corey steal. If they don't, then those counts go up, because hitting like fatal push, frog are good. And also didn't beat a turn 1 Swift Spear. It beat a turn 1 Swift Spear, just not by killing it on turn 1. Like, your opponent's not going to have a turn 1 Swift Spear and then immediately start going like bolt you on turn 2, attack for 3 into open mana. So that Swift Spear is going to be like attack for 2 off a bobble into plot a slick shot some amount of the time on turn 2, attack for 1 into a mystical disputed expressive iteration, attack for 2, and then like at that point you've drawn 2 or 3 more cards off your Quantum Riddlers, probably found an answer. Surely the Corey Jam into Counterspell mana was sus. I don't think so after they showed that they had second Corey steal. I think if you jam the first one and you don't have a second one, I think that would be sus. But as soon as you show you have the second one, then it's just, well, I'm going to keep jamming these Corey steals and make you have answers for them. So I think that was completely fine. But obviously at the time, that turn 2 just immediately untap, slam Corey steal made it look less fine. Okay, so what did we think of the deck? Obviously, outside of the prowess match, we did pretty good. I don't think there's a lot of stuff I'd want to adjust, especially for prowess. Tameo, we didn't see a lot of good Tameo matchups. What did we see? Amulet, Hammertime, Affinity, Prowess. So we saw a lot of good pest control matchups. Didn't see a lot of good mystical dispute matchups. Fairy didn't look really good out of the board. That could probably be dropped for something else. But at the same time, like Teferi, Quantum Riddler, Kaito, Tameo is like your solitude matchup stuff. We just didn't see any of those. Dreams of Steel and Oil was good. Hit something every time we cast it. Prismatic Ending was really good. I was really impressed with Prismatic Ending, but I probably want to swap out the Strategic Betrayal for another sorcery or for another instant speed piece of interaction, like a Shoot the Sheriff or something. Just don't get too sorcery heavy.